Today I'm doing a JoJo's tier list, and I have someone with me. Introduce yourself.
Hi, my name's Anime in Theory. I make YouTube videos about variety anime, and especially JoJo's as of late. So I decided to join Thunder, and we make a JoJo's tier list. Okay, so we gotta start off with the best, Phantom Blood. Now, I feel like Phantom Blood is like... I've always seen JoJo's parts as pieces of cake. I think I talked about this in one of my videos. Phantom Blood is a vegetable cake. Nobody likes vegetable cake, and the people who do... are just pretending to. I don't think anybody actually thinks Phantom Blood is, good.
What the heck is a vegetable cake?
You don't know what a vegetable cake is?
No.
It's just, where, it's a vegetarian thing, where they just, throw a bunch of stuff into a bowl and put cake batter in it and call it a day.
Okay, that sounds horrible.
No, it's disgusting. There's, no way people... I guess a better example is carrot cake, but a decent amount of people actually...
Oh, carrot cake's alright.
Yeah, but a decent amount of people like carrot cake, so I just put vegetable cake. But I don't know, I feel like... It's I feel like it's the only part that's C tier though.
C?
What, would you go higher?
I don't know. When I was reading this, I was bored. I'm gonna be honest. It sets up everything. It shows that the Joestars are very good. These very kind people, and Dio, he's obviously very evil, but it's just boring because it's so straightforward. So I was thinking D tier.
D tier, okay, because I actually recently rewatched it and reread it, maybe within the last month or something like that. And the initial fight with Dio, though, I didn't remember it being this good. The initial fight with Dio, where they're in the mansion, is so unbelievably good. I did not expect it to be this good. Every single thing after that sucks. The whole thing with with Bruford and Tarkus, and then even the final fight with Dio and Jonathan is the most boring thing ever.
Yeah, I just remember overall it was kind of boring for me.
I don't know how if it existed today, it would have gotten canceled in Jump.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
I don't think it would have made it through part 1 with half the things that get canceled in Jump today. I love Dio as a villain though. He's the saving grace of this entire part.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I don't know. I get where you're coming from with D. It's just I don't even know how I could read that.
I could put it in C. I think it's...
You could do it in C? Okay, we're going to rank part 1 as C. Part 1 Phantom Blood as C. Okay. But I don't know, yeah, I just feel I know it sets everything up, but it's just... I don't know, I feel every part... I guess we'll talk about this later. Okay, never mind. Okay. We'll talk when we get to part 3. Alright, next is...
Part 2,
oh, good.
Battle Tendency. So, Joseph... I don't know about you, but I love him so much. I love his cockiness, and
I like Joseph.
He just carries the whole part, if I'm being honest.
He is 10 times better than Jonathan.
Yeah.
I like him. Yeah, I also like the a lot of people don't like the Pillarmen, but I enjoy the Pillarmen. I don't think JoJo's has a single bad villain.
Yeah, honestly,
every main villain is good.
The Pillarmen, I actually really liked Wham. I think that's his name, Whamu or something. Yeah.
Whamu, yeah.
Yeah, I liked him. I thought it was cool. Then Cars comes in and does his
kind of steals
thing.
the show.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like that, and I think about Caesar too. I also recently rewatched. I didn't reread part 2, but rewatched it. Caesar isn't that as fun of a character as I remember him being. He does not win a single fight. I realize this. Every single fight he does, he loses. Even the initial fight to Jonathan, where just kind of play fighting near the fountain, he loses. But I do think that they have a fun friendship, and then Lisa comes in, and I do like Lisa.
Oh, you remind me of one of my favorite parts of, or my favorite aspect of part 2 is that Joseph's very cocky, but because of Caesar, he kind of learns to do humility, I guess.
Subset it, yeah.
He learns to be humble.
Yeah, I do think that some of the fights can be a little bit boring. I think the final fight with Cars and Whamu during the chariot race, that's really fun.
Oh yeah, that was crazy.
Everything before that is just I don't think it's that great. I definitely think it's B tier.
Yeah,
especially just for with Joseph alone,
yeah.
It's B tier. He makes up the entire part.
What about the ending? What do you think of that?
I enjoy the ending. I think it's I don't think a lot of, especially even part 1, I feel like part 1 has a very good ending. Part 2's ending is alright. I don't think JoJo's has good endings, specifically with one of the parts. We'll talk about this later, definitely with some of the other parts. But I enjoy the ending. What about you? Do you not like it?
No, I liked it.
Oh, okay.
I think it's So
I thought you were gonna
crazy.
get like a hot take or something like that.
Oh no.
Or do you mean like the ending, like where like they all like speedwagon, or
No,
like
just the
I mean,
volcano.
oh no! I love that part. I love that part. I
Yeah.
love that part. Okay, I thought you were talking about like where like they like leave all the characters off. I usually don't think JoJo's is very good at that. I think it's too open ended, but I still feel like part was good.
Yeah, so B tier.
I would put it up in B tier. Yeah.
All right, next one, part 3, Stardust Crusaders. Our introduction to stands.
Okay. I don't know. I don't like this part. I do not like Stardust Crusaders. I loved it initially. It was so unbelievable. I think that like the first 2 parts of JoJo's, I went into it completely blind. I didn't know what stands are. So I get to this and I'm like, this is so good. There's amazing fight after amazing fight after amazing fight after amazing fight. There's so many fights that it does not ever stop.
That's exactly the way I felt with it. Like, just what people say is like monster of the week, the stand user of the week.
There's some fights that are fun, but like it's best if like you just kind of skip around and like go to the fights if like you're rewatching it that you enjoy.
Wait, so you watched the anime along with the manga?
I read all of part 3, but recently recently for the first time watched all the anime for part 3.
Oh yeah, I watched like up to part 5 in the anime, and then that was like a few years ago. And then recently, you know, doing my videos and stuff on JoJo's, I went back and reread all the mangas.
Did you like it better with the manga?
No, I'm gonna be honest. I think, well, at least for the first few parts, you know, up until like Diamond is Unbreakable, that's where the manga I thought started actually like getting, I don't know,
Good.
that's where I started to enjoy it. Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I don't know where I did put Stardust Crusaders on the tier list.
I know.
Because I definitely think it's better than Phantom Blood, but just like
Yeah.
I don't know, like the best parts about it are like the initial fights and then the fight with Dio at the end.
Yeah. Exactly.
And I do like enjoy the camaraderie between the Stardust Crusaders. I do really enjoy them, but I feel like some of them like get more than others. Like Kakyoin, he didn't really get much.
Yeah, Polnareff, he's probably my favorite character out of the Stardust Crusaders. He got a whole lot. I think he had more fights than Jotaro.
His stand, I think, is like the most Araki's ever drawn out of any of the stands. Somebody ranked him, and he like his stand appears in like the most panels or something like something crazy like that. Even though like part 3 is not the longest part, I don't know how that makes sense. And it was like by far, I don't think it was like a close margin. I don't get that. But I don't know.
That sucks for Jotaro.
I still feel like it's a little bit worse than part 2 though.
Yeah, that's, I don't know. It's a very weird part, just introducing stands, and I don't know how many fights it has, but a whole bunch.
I think I do like some people say it's like the simplicity in it. Like after this point, like stands can get so like weird and wacky with like, or super duper complicated.
Oh yeah.
Like, or just like a stand that's be able to like be a shark or something like that, or like control water. That's like, we're probably never gonna get that. It has to be like a JoJolion stand where it's like opening a pen cap summons a motorcycle.
Yeah, I remember like there's this one stand that's like a fly that's on an airplane. It's so, I don't know, it's stupid.
Yeah. There's that. There's like the sun too. There's definitely some sun. Like there's like, I do appreciate the whimsical fights though. Like the one with I think it's like Bastet, and with Mariah, the one where she can like magnetically control
Oh yeah,
people.
that's a good one.
With Joseph and Abdul, like that's fun. It being like the 40th fight you've seen, you just want it to be over so bad.
Yeah, I definitely felt that when I was reading this.
Yeah, no, I would put it maybe above in B, but like above Battle Tendency. Okay, next up.
Part 4. This is where I started to love JoJo's so much. I don't know. In this small town Morio, seeing all these characters just come together and being built up along the way, it gives you a sense of like great world building, I guess, for Morio. Oh, and I just love the dynamic between Josuke and Kara. I think Kara's a great villain.
I think that too. I think like definitely part 4 is where it like gets good. Like if I tell people to watch JoJo's, I like say make it up to at least, it's a tall order, but like at least make it up to part 4. Like skip through the first 3 parts honestly if you have to. Because I think part 4 is genuinely like, from the first episode I'm like, holy moly, this is way better than anything before it. I immediately like Josuke's I guess I don't know if you'd say like he's one of my favorite protagonists out of the series, and then the setting of Morio in the small town. Like I kept hearing about that. I was like, I don't know if I like want a slice of life thing, but I think it's exactly the thing that like JoJo's needed.
That's the thing I was trying to say. Like the slice of life in Morio in this part is just done so well. We get to meet so many characters, and everyone just seems so close. It's fun.
There's not like necessarily a bad character that like I would consider like a not like a good character, like or like poorly written character that I would say was introduced in this part. But, like I mean, there's some smaller ones like Hazamada, who's like I don't know, kind of like implied to be like a creep and stuff like that, but still.
Yeah, I really wanted to learn anything I could about each and every single character in this part.
No, yeah, I could have just watched an entire anime of them just like on their own.
Yeah, that's
no
exactly
stands.
how I felt. Yeah.
And then of course we have Rohan, who's I want to say he's like my favorite character. Him and Koichi are like my two favorite characters in the series, like above Gyro.
Oh
I knew
gosh.
that one would get you. I
hate you.
No, but I really enjoy it. I think, oh yeah, Kira too. Holy moly. I wasn't expecting like much with Kira. I do think that he should have stayed just kind of like a quiet like nobody for a little bit longer. Like I love his initial like David Bowie design. He looks more like a regular dude than when he gets, I can't remember like whoever takes over his name. And then like and then he just looks like a villain. I really preferred him like with the more laid back design though.
Oh yeah, that was interesting. I don't know. I think it does it well. Like, there's this. It's a quiet town. Everyone's kind of happy, and then there's just a serial killer that's in the midst of everything, and it's a really cool mystery that I thought that it got built up very well.
Yeah, no, I love it. What would you say it's S though, or would you say it's more A?
I'd go with A. Although, I'm torn.
If some later parts didn't exist, I would say it would be S tier.
Honestly, I think it's S tier.
You think it's S tier? Alright, I'd be fine with S tier. I love it. It's my third favorite part. It's like the part that like made me like JoJo's.
Yeah.
Like, maybe a JoJo's fan at least.
Yeah, exactly. I feel the same way. Yeah.
Okay, now on to part 5, Golden Wind. Oh boy. How do you feel about this one?
Oh, well, I guess just torn between some things.
Like what? What are some things?
Well, first off, Giorno. I think he has a very cool introduction, and with Koichi, and then his role, or how he's a Joestar, but also has a bit of Dio mixed into him. He's very, how do I say it? What's the word? I can't find the word for it.
Ambitious.
Ambitious, yeah, exactly. But then, what is it? We meet the other characters, and it kind of just feels like Giorno is left out sometimes. Like there's not a lot of focus on him.
Yeah, that's what I noticed too, having like actually recently rewatched part 5. Like at the beginning, Giorno's like a much different character. Like he's still kind of the same, like he has like justice and stuff like that, but he's like a lot more cocky. He's like making jokes with Koichi and stuff like that, and he has a lot more personality. But the second he joins Passione, he just kind of becomes like a blank slate.
Yeah, I don't know. Near the start, I just really like that ambition that he has, and he keeps it all the way through, but it doesn't really shine a whole lot.
No, yeah. But I do really, really enjoy the rest of Passione, though. I think this is probably my favorite group in JoJo's. Unless, like, who knows, maybe... I don't know, I really like the Part 9 group, but, like, so far, this is my favorite group.
Who knows? Part 9, it's alternate.
We'll talk about that later, though. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, but, I liked Passione. I really liked what Bucciarati had going on.
Bucciarati?
Bucciarati. I don't know how to pronounce his name.
Bucciarati. I don't know why they call him Bucciarati in like the Viz translation. That's so weird.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. When I made a video on this, I mispronounced everyone's name. I think I called Abacchio, or something. I don't know. I don't even know how to pronounce his name.
Close enough. Yeah, no. The rest of Passion, I still think like this is definitely like where the character interactions like take center stage. Whereas like fights are more centered around like 2 stands versus 1, like 2 people having to like find a way to work together and stuff like that. Even the villain, like kind of like Narancha and Doppio working together, like unknowingly to take down Metallica, or I can't remember his name. The Metallica.
Yeah, Metallica. User. Yeah.
I feel like who's your favorite member out of Passione? Because I feel like by far mine's Narancia.
Oh, I love him. I don't know, he's so sweet. But
I love the the scene where he's like swimming for Bucciarati and trying to get back on the boat.
Oh yeah,
that gets me every time.
Oh my gosh, that just hit me right in the heart. But yeah, Bucciarati, I love his character from beginning to end. He's like this, this mobster who upholds his ideals, and his ending really hit me.
Oh no, that's so good.
I think it was like very poetic, and I don't know, it was just so great.
I enjoy the pacing of this part so much more. Like I don't enjoy this part as much as part 4, I feel. But I feel like the pacing of this part is so much better than anything before, and honestly, like even better than like part 6 and maybe even part 8.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about the pacing. I guess it's just something I barely even notice. Like, I have a hard time noticing.
Really? I don't know, because I feel like part 4 had a little, like, 1 or 2 fights that's like, this didn't really have to be included in here. Like, I love Rohan, but like the Rohan like rock paper scissors fight, that's like
yeah.
And you just kind of want to get to the Kira stuff, and like this isn't progressing the plot. It feels like a part 3 fight. But I feel like every single fight in part 5 like progresses the plot along.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's the other thing I noticed about part 5 was the fights. They got like, I don't know, part 4, the stands kind of evolved, and we had Koichi with his egg thing and like different acts and stuff. But in part 5, the fights, it's like they got super creative.
Yeah, it's like I enjoy like the heightened tensions. It's like this is a life or death thing.
Yeah.
That's gonna happen. Like somebody is going to die in the end of this fight, whether that be the good guys or the bad guys. You never know.
How do you feel about the main villain?
Okay, Diavolo. I've always had like a weird like love-hate relationship with Diavolo, because his stand King Crimson is like my favorite stand in the series. It's named after my favorite band of all time. The same name, King Crimson. It's just like all around like huge bunch of King Crimson references. His actual character, I love the dynamic between him and Doppio. I think that is one of the smartest like narrative things Araki has ever done. I do not like how it just got shafted out of the blue.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool, but I don't know, Diavolo, and he has this whole thing trying to, not get noticed by anyone, or he doesn't want his information or past to get out to anyone. I thought that was kind of weird. I don't know if I missed something, but I just thought it was weird. I'm not a big fan of him.
Yeah, they never explain where that came from, because I do enjoy too the aspect that him and Doppio didn't know that they were both like, maybe Diavolo knew, I don't know, but like where they like had split personality disorder. I think that would have been really interesting for them to actually like discover that, or discover that they're like two people in one, but they never actually did. They just kind of got separated all of a sudden.
Yeah, I think Araki definitely should have dove into Diavolo a bit more. I think he had some really cool things going, but just never really done anything.
Yeah, but what do you think about... So I hate... Well, I guess hate's an accurate word. I hate the flashback ending. I hate it so unbelievably much to part 5.
To part 5, the flashback?
Like, where the Rolling Stones flashback. Where
oh! Yeah, I didn't really... Yeah.
Like, most people are fine with it, but, like, thematically... it makes no sense. We just had like it comes right after like we just had the coolest moment in the series with like Golden Experience Requiem, and then it's just like he uses it, and then it's like I love the theme of like no, like they were not fated to win. Like having recently rewatched it, it's like shows Diavolo is like he sees himself to like I'm fated to win this. He sees it, but Golden Experience Requiem changes that. And then says like, no, we're gonna write our own fate. Fate doesn't decide us. But then that flashback just immediately counteracting that and being like, no, actually, fate does decide everything. This was all fated from the beginning. Like at the very end.
Oh yeah.
I hated that so much.
Yeah, thematically, I think it's bad. But at the end of the day, I don't really care about it. I think it could have definitely done without it though.
I don't know, that like just one thing like drags it down to an A for me though. Like if it wasn't for that, it would have been S tier. But like, just I don't know. I despise it. I genuinely despise it.
You were thinking S tier? I was thinking like somewhere between A or B.
No. But... I'm saying A because of that flashback ending.
All right, yeah, I'll go with A too. Cause...
A, okay, that's fair.
A. Okay, Stone Ocean.
Oh
my gosh.
Oh boy. You go first. I have a lot of opinions on this one. I've made a lot of people mad in previously about Stone Ocean. But you go first.
Well, there's a lot of stuff I don't care about. I get bored with it. Like some of the characters, they don't get a whole like. Really, JoJolion is the only character. Well, I guess Poochie too, but yeah, there's not really a whole bunch of great side characters. I guess what's her name?
Hermes or FF?
The plankton girl.
FF.
FF, yeah. I really like the FF, how she, becomes she was made to be a weapon and becomes a human. I really like that little character arc.
I like that too.
But I guess the main thing I really liked about this part is Jotaro and JoJolion. We get to explore a lot more with Jotaro, and why he didn't take care of JoJolion, how he's so bad with expressing his emotions, expressing himself. And we get to see JoJolion, this rebellious teenager.
Yeah, okay.
I don't really know what about JoJolion though. JoJolion, I think she's all right.
Okay, all right. Now I'm gonna say this is my least favorite part out of all the JoJo's parts. And I made a lot of people mad at this because I've said like in the past videos like this like the analogy for this part is like coffee cake, because like people who love coffee, make it their entire personality. I just could not care for it. Like people love Stone Ocean. They will make it. They're like JoJolion. They will have like JoJolion profile pictures, JoJolion wallpapers, JoJolion everything. I just do not care for this part.
Oh.
I think that the pacing is important to me. This pacing is so unbelievably off during like the Dragon's Dream and like the Yo-Yo Ma arc.
Oh yeah, I kind of felt that too.
On the offhand though, like the fights I don't find enjoyable, but on the offhand though, I do think that like with very like a few characters at least, like this is genuinely like Araki's like best character writing. I think JoJolion is like up until this point the best protagonist. I love that she starts out as like, for Poochie was just originally going to use her as like he had no means other than like attracting Jotaro to the jail, and like he didn't care if she escaped or not. Like he didn't like plan for her to be dangerous, but then she ended up like changing, like doing what Part 5 should have done, like changing the way of fate and like rising up the ranks and actually defeating Poochie, becoming like a blip on his radar. I love that of like her like slowly becoming like her father.
Yeah, she starts out, like crying and stuff, and
yeah,
she becomes very fierce by the end of the story. I love that.
Yeah, I like that she like. It's also a little bit like of hints like I'm not gonna make like the same mistakes that my father did and stuff like that. I'm gonna learn from the previous generations. I do feel like there's some of the side characters like Hermes. I couldn't really care. I don't really care for Hermes or Anasui. I don't know.
Weather Reports.
I'm all right on. I'm okay with Weather Report. Some of like the Anasui like marrying JoJolion, that was kind of weird because like Anasui is like very much not a good person. He was put in jail because like he like double homicide. I
always thought that was kind of weird. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know. Like especially, but I do feel that this does have like the best ending out of all of JoJo's.
Yeah, going against fate and destiny and everything, and literally JoJolion was so stubborn that she made Poochie reset the universe. Yeah,
how do you feel about Poochie as a villain, though?
I actually liked him. I think it's, he's influenced by Dio, and then Poochie, he kind of reminds me of Funny Valentine, as in he doesn't betray his ideals, he doesn't betray his goal, and I like that part about him. So, I guess he's an alright protagonist. I thought he was a good antagonist.
I've always had like a weird relationship with, I don't know why I say relationship, it's like thing with Poochie because he's like voiced in the anime English dub, which is like what I mainly watch all my anime with, like by a YouTuber that I've been watching since like 2017 named Yang Ya. And all of a sudden, like I didn't know, like this is like I think like he had announced on his YouTube channel that he's like voicing Poochie, but this is before he got into anime stuff. And like he made it sound like it's like, oh, this is just a small like minor antagonist role. So like and like I completely forgot about it. He's like very humble about it. Like and they started hearing his voice and like holy moly. And like because when he does the flashbacks with Dio, it's literally just his voice, like his regular voice, like his young Poochie. But as Pucci as a character, I enjoy Pucci as a character. I like the not betraying his ideals thing. I like his connection to Dio.
Yeah.
I definitely don't feel like he's one of the best villains though.
I feel he's good, but up to a point.
I was saying, like, I think people, I don't know, I don't really like Made in Heaven as much as a stand. I'm not that big on it. A lot of people really like it, though.
Yeah, part 6, there are some good aspects to it, but also some parts that were kind of boring to me.
I think it does round out, like, the original universe canon, though, so unbelievably well. I think, like, breaking the curse, denying fate. I like doing what Golden Wind's ending did not do.
Oh, yeah, I love that.
Okay, but I don't know, like, because I say this is my least favorite part, like, because, I don't know, I guess I haven't talked about, like, why it's my least favorite part as much, but, like, I think everything, I don't know, there's, like, some good parts of, like, FF is, like, the best part, like, while the prison part, and then, like, but that's it. Like, I don't really care for Hermes, I don't care for Anasui, I'm okay with Weather Report, but I do, like, everything, like, from Heavy Weather and up, I think that's where, like, this is actually, like, gets really, really good. Like, Sea Moon and then Made in Heaven. But everything before that I don't think is good.
Yeah, I guess I think the cast isn't, the best cast. They have a good protagonist, good antagonist, but the side characters, kind of eh.
Yeah. But I don't know where I would put this on the tier list, though, because, like...
I know, it's so hard. I was thinking below...
I do think it's better than Phantom Blood.
Yeah, definitely. I honestly think it's above Part 3.
Really? Part 3?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, man. Like, it's my least favorite part, but I do think it's at least a little bit better. I don't know. This is the only one, like, I've been rewatching and, like, kind of slowly rereading JoJo's for, like, videos and stuff like that. And this is the only one that I haven't, like, rewatched or reread yet. So I'll accept it. I'll put it up, and maybe, like, I'm just giving it a fair chance. Who knows? Maybe there'll be a video in, like, a few months where I say, like, I owe an apology to Stone Ocean, where I talk about how I was wrong about it. That's what I'm planning. That's maybe, well, who knows? But I guess put it up and be above Stardust Crusaders.
Yeah, I liked it more than Stardust. Okay. We're getting to my favorite part 7.
Okay, here we go.
So, Johnny, Gyro, Funny Valentine. Those are the 3 guys that you really look out for in this part.
Yeah.
And I feel like people are going to say that this is, a generic thing to say, that this part is pretty much a masterpiece. But I think it's generic because so many people love this part. So far, up to this point in JoJo's, I think we saw that, it's pretty much good versus evil. And it's kind of set up this way for Funny Valentine and Funny versus Gyro and Johnny. But, Funny, when you think about it and you look back at it, he isn't really evil. Well, I guess he kind of is, but, well, no.
Well, he's like Kira. He has, like, intentions, like, it's like, they're good intentions, but they're just carried out in a very horrible way that, like, end up, like, affecting, like, well, I don't know, Kira's was, like, on a small scale, like, Funny Valentine's was, like, on, like, a global scale of what his intentions were.
Yeah. And he just he believes so firmly in his ideals that he isn't good, but he's doing this for his country. He's just doing what he does for his country. I love that about him, and he's my favorite antagonist because of that. But Johnny, Gyro, let's talk about Johnny for a sec. How do you feel about him?
I love Johnny. I think, like, he's up until this point the best written protagonist, honestly, by far, in the series. The thing of him, like, slowly learning to walk. This wasn't really slowly. He just kind of, like, started walking all of a sudden. But, like, figuratively, he started to, like, slowly walk with, like, Gyro's help and stuff like that. And I do like his resolve.
Oh.
And I love the dark determination. He's, like,
me too.
On, like, an alignment, like, character alignment charts, like, he's the only one I would kind of put in, like, I don't know, what is it, like, chaotic evil, honestly. Because his, like, dark determination, like, he will kill anybody or anything to get, like, if it gets in his way. He's kind of, like, funny. I like that in that context of it.
Honestly, I'm really just a sucker for stories that make some selfish guy turn into, someone humble. I think that's kind of what happens in, what is it, Phantom, or not Phantom, but Battle Tennessee a little bit, but you really see it in this part. Johnny just becomes, I don't know, he just becomes so great.
I do think this part has the best pacing, though, overall.
I would have to agree, yeah, definitely.
The race dynamic adds like so much to it that it's kind of hard not to like keep the pace. It almost feels like a restriction that Rocky put on himself. It's like I can't dwindle with like every single little thing.
Yeah, because up until this point, it was all about fights, but instead, it's a separate goal, which is to win a race. And then, it kind of diverges from that near the end. But yeah, I think Iraqi's setting it up so that he didn't have to make it just all focused on fights. I mean, it is, but I don't know, just having another goal besides that, I think that's kind of what helped it a lot. Just this weird race.
I'm curious though, what do you prefer? Like, I prefer, like, what do you prefer? Do you prefer like when JoJo's does group dynamics or duo dynamics? Because I feel like there's like hit or miss with some. Like, I really like Gyro and Johnny's duo dynamic in this.
I love them so much. Well, Gyro, he's like a mentor to Johnny, and he teaches him everything he knows.
I like his. Yeah, I think that this and JoJolion honestly have like the best humor in the series. There's so many like funny gags with him and Johnny that like really do make them feel like friends. That like, I know part 4 kind of had that, like him, like Josuke no Kuyasu joking around, but like I don't feel like that they were like that like funny compared to this. Yeah. Like part 4 is like generic anime humor. This was like, I was actually laughing about this.
It's
like
so stupid. Like I remember that one part.
The pizza.
Yeah. There's pizza mozzarella. Then there's that one weird like song thing he does, or Gyro does, for the days of the week.
Yeah.
And he makes weird face. It's so stupid. Then Johnny's just over there. He's like, whatever, Gyro. Or he's just saying that he likes him, or he likes his jokes and stuff.
I like that he gives it like a YouTube like video essay like breakdown of like, he never laughs at it, but he gives a YouTube video essay of like why the joke is funny. I always love that gag.
Oh my
it's
God.
So awesome.
Oh.
I know. I love their group dynamic. I love the mentorship. How do you feel about like some of the smaller like antagonists though? Because I do feel like this is the best. This and JoJolion.
Oh my gosh.
Have the two best.
Well, we gotta talk about
Ringo Road again.
Yeah. He just pushes them to their absolute limits, and somehow, I don't know how, but just in a few chapters, he really shines in the story. He makes you remember him. Shoeman's World. I love
That's
it.
good. I do feel like some of the characters got a little shafted though, like Sandman or Soundman. Whatever.
Yeah, that, the story, because like it turned out to be a masterpiece in the end, but I definitely wanted to see something with Sandman. Like, it might have derailed the story and made it not what it is, but I don't know, I did want to see some more stuff from Sandman, because at the start of the story he gets introduced as this guy who's trying to help his people, help his tribe, and
yeah,
it just gets forgotten.
Yeah, well, because like in the beginning of the part, I kind of started rereading part 7. Like they introduce like a lot of it. Like he keeps like talking about like his sister and stuff. Like the sister has like a very prominent like character design. That's like, this is like, it definitely feels like she's supposed to be in it more. But then he just kind of like dies off screen. Him and like some of the other racers like Poco Loco don't really get a lot. I do enjoy like some of like, kind of like in between parts though, like all the other racers do kind of have like somewhat of a friendship dynamic. They're like at like checkpoints, they're like talking to each other and like helping each other out. Like Hot Pants kind of becomes like,
oh yeah,
Johnny and Gyro's like friend. Like she becomes like the healer who like always heals him up after a fight.
Yeah, they're not one big group, but
yeah,
they're just kind of help out each other here and there. I
kind of wish that had permeated, like almost like a part 4, like everybody coming together to fight off Funny Valentine. I wish that would have happened. I love the alternate universe like callbacks though. I honestly think that it's like one of the best things about this new universe.
I feel like it's like for me, it felt like a reward for just reading all the parts before it.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I know that. I don't know. I thought that was really cool.
I like that. Honestly, I feel like Dio or Diego in this universe is better than original in like the original universe. I feel like he's a better written character in this universe.
I think that too, but only because he's kind of he's built off of the original
Yeah,
Dio.
I guess you're right. Yeah.
Like we already know Dio, and then that just gets then Diego. You kind of get to see a bit more of an interesting side to him.
I love his stand. His stand is probably my favorite in Part 7, Scary Monsters.
Yeah, I thought Diego was hella cool throughout the whole part. He's such a cool character.
Honestly, only David Bowie rep in the entire series, except for like Kira. But oh well, that's for another time.
Yeah.
And then Funny Valentine is such. He's a very good villain. I wouldn't say he's my favorite, but I definitely think that he's one of the better villains in the series.
Yeah, what makes this part so great is obviously the antagonist, but also this dynamics between Johnny and Gyro, where at first it's Johnny learning things from Gyro, and he gets humility, he gets taught to be more humble and stuff, and then eventually after Johnny learns gets dark determination and stuff, we see that Gyro starts to learn a little bit from Johnny, to try and be more selfish, because Gyro's father, he tried to make him forget about sentimentality and emotions and connections for him to become a better executioner, but it's exactly that helped him.
Okay, I feel like we kind of need to wrap up Part 7, so we'll talk about. I feel like we need to talk about one more thing, which is how do you feel about the Love Train, D4C, and then the Tusk Act 4?
Tusk Act 4.
Because how do you like the final battle? Because I enjoy the final battle.
It's a bit of a Love Train. Is weird, but once you read JoJolion and you see how it all fits together with the Calamity and stuff, we'll get to later. But once you see how it all fits together, I think it really adds a piece to JoJo's. I think that's something I really like about JoJo's, is how you can piece things together throughout this history and this timeline. That's a very fun aspect.
One more thing. How did you feel I don't know if it was spoiled for you or not, but when Diego used the world, because I did not know that was going to happen. That was insane.
Yeah, I thought that was just that was great.
That was great. Okay, yeah, but definitely, if you can tell already, we're definitely putting Part 7 in S tier above. Diamond is Unbreakable.
JoJolion.
Oh boy, yeah.
You want to go?
Okay, so yeah, I'll go because I'm the JoJolion guy for some reason. I feel like that for now because I've made talked about this many times. JoJolion, not only I feel the most underrated part, but it's my favorite part.
Really?
I put it above Steel Wall Run.
Wow. I'll be honest, I think it does deserve S tier just because of Josuke and his whole character arc, and finding his own identity. I love that so much, but I don't know. There's some things in here.
So much. I think having reread it, I recently read it for my video of JoJolion, and I definitely appreciated it way more than I did before. Even still way more before I would have said is my favorite part, but now I'm okay, the themes are a lot more connected, I feel, than a lot of people give it credit for, the Calamity, the Flow, the Miracles, and stuff like that. I think it can be a little bit of an overload, especially when it's not I do feel it could have been streamlined. Don't call it they called it Flow, Fate, Calamity, just stream multiple times throughout the part they called it different things, just streamline it into one thing. I feel like JoJolion could have definitely used a second draft.
Yeah.
Because there's so many things that he introduces that just do not come to fruit, Flashback Man. If you're rereading it today, you're never gonna remember about Flashback Man, but that's just so unbelievably stupid.
Yeah, I was so confused about all the Calamity and stuff like that, and when I watched the X-Force video, and then I actually saw what Araki was going for. I think having to watch an X-Force video just to figure that out, that's kind of I guess that might just show how stupid I am, or show how much this part is I don't know. It leaves a lot of stuff up to you to figure it out.
Yeah, but I don't know. I definitely do feel Josuke is the best protagonist in the series, honestly. I don't know if you feel that way.
In JoJo's?
Yeah. I think Josuke is one of the best protagonists in all of manga.
In manga, well, I love Johnny so much. I'm a sucker for people who go from selfish
that's
to
that's fair.
humble. And I don't know, I love Johnny more than Josuke, but Josuke, he's a very close second. I love his whole theme with identity and stuff.
I don't know, I feel like out of all the JoJos, he feels like the most human. Like for some, like I kind of like hold like all the characters in like this like higher position and stuff like that, but he just kind of feels like he's below. He was just kind of like some dude who's like down in the dumps a lot. He's very I feel like I don't think he should have been named Josuke Higashikata, because then like you immediately expect him to be like the original universe Josuke, and like you like I think that kind of just holds a like it's you keep comparing him to that, and I think like once you separate him from Part 4 Josuke, that then like you start to realize how like great of a character he is.
It's so weird because this part I tried when I was like on my first read through. This was a while ago. Through all JoJo's parts, I got to JoJolion and I stopped halfway through. And
really,
yeah, I guess it wasn't because I hated it, but I just kind of stopped and forgot about it, and then I came back and reread it, of course. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like the beginning part, the first half of this, I wasn't a huge fan of for some reason. I don't know.
I feel like everything. Honestly, I kind of disagree with you, because I feel like everything from Born This Way and onward is peak JoJo's, except for maybe like one or two parts we'll talk about in a bit. The fights are very, very, very good. I feel like these are the best fights in the series. I feel like Vitamin C, especially. Vitamin C and Wonder Review are like tied in my head for like the best.
Yeah, I do like the fights because first off, they're on a huge scale, but well, mainly towards the end, but also they're super complicated. Like the first fight we see, doggy style or whatever, fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's such a weird fight.
I do think they do get a little bit overly complicated with some of the stands. I do feel like we could have gotten a little bit more variety, but I still really enjoy it. I feel like, how do you feel about the Higashikata family, like as characters, like them and Yasuo? Because I do feel like in some places they're a little bit like underutilized, especially since Araki says like the main theme of JoJolion is family, which I definitely don't feel that. I feel like they some of them got shafted.
Yeah, I think I said this in my video, but yeah, there were definitely a few Higashikata family members. Well, pretty much most of them, they didn't really seem all that important.
How do you feel about Jobin?
Oh my gosh, I thought he was gonna be he did turn out to be a great protagonist or antagonist. No, then I still like him even though Toru comes in, but I don't know. Well, yeah, I guess to sum it up, I like him.
I really, really enjoy it. I definitely think he should have been the main villain of the part.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like,
I think his death, in my opinion, is the second biggest narrative mistake Araki's ever made.
Yeah.
The first being the Golden Wind flashback ending, but like specifically it's like I don't care about like the fact that he died. This like it's not like that they liked him as a character. They died. I'm not usually that type of person, but I think like he dies in one of the worst moments after like it was so unbelievably like crazy to see him like he like we think Norsuke's dead.
Oh wait,
we think he's killed Norsuke.
There's a
what?
He might come back in part 9. You see those series?
No, he's not coming back in part. Everybody keeps saying he's gonna come back. He's gonna like the Rohan at the Louvre movie. He's gonna come back in the Phantom Blood musical opera.
Nah, he is.
No, he's not coming.
I'm putting my faith in that. It's
faith.
It's fate. He's coming
it's
back.
It's fake. All right, I'll believe that for now. But I feel like the moment that like he takes over the family, and then like they're gonna like there's this really cool moment where all like Jobin. No, Joshu and like everybody's like running over to, like try to get Norsuke's like help get Norsuke's body, and he like stops and he's like, no, this is like this is the path we're going forward now. We're going on the right path.
Yeah, it was
like,
such an intense moment and like one of the best moments for his character. Then you know what happens. Yeah.
And then he just walks in the hall and then dies.
Oh my god.
Like instant kill. I hated that so much, and like immediately the story picks back up. Like the moment that immediately after that happens is like the Toru like dancing to the Wonder of You song. But I feel that is just like it leaves such a bad taste in your mouth for a little bit. That kind of ruins that moment, honestly, for me.
Yeah.
But it picks back up and then you kind of forget about it. But
it didn't really ruin him for me or that moment. But yeah, I see where you're coming from.
I still really, really enjoy Toru though. I think that he's one of the best villains ever entered in JoJo's. he was just introduced in the wrong part at the wrong time.
How I feel about him is that when I record my video for JoJolion and stuff, and when I when I was seeing it through one perspective, seeing him as an antagonist and stuff, looking at him like Jobin, I thought I hated him. But then when you look back,
You hated him?
yeah. But when you look back at it through another perspective, as like the representation of Calamity, you can see how it all fits in.
Yeah. Okay. No, I do. I really do enjoy. I like that when he's kind of dying, I feel like his character like really comes in full fruition. Then he like all this like cool and that calm nature just immediately goes away, and then he starts like freaking out. Kind of like, I don't know. I compare it to like, I guess spoilers for Death. Have you seen Death Note?
Yeah.
Okay. So like, spoilers for Death Note, like when in the manga, like when Light Yagami is dying, and like because like somebody wrote his name in the Death Note. And like he's like has 40 seconds to live, and like he knows he's gonna die, and he starts like freaking out and screaming. Like this is the thing that what he's done to everybody else. I think Toru doing that, like begging for his life, like shouting at anybody, like help him, save him, and like doing like him getting the rock disease and like basically like getting the fate that he's deserved, that he's put on so many people. I feel like that moment's amazing.
Exactly. Yeah. I do wish that we kind of got to see more of his like. The whole nature side of things, I think that could have been like expanded upon a bit more, but yeah, it kind of relates to Calamity, I guess.
I do think that like sometimes Araki though goes a little bit too overboard with like trying to reinforce themes when he doesn't need to. I feel like that's kind of what I feel like happened with the part 5 like flashback with like the Fate theme, and I do feel like he went a little bit too over with Calamity when killing off Jobin, especially since like we'd have, I think after Jobin dies, I think Kei and Rai both die to the Calamity. I feel like it's like we didn't really need like this, like kept getting hammered home. I don't know about like I still don't really know how to feel about Go Beyond though, because it just genuinely appears out of nowhere.
I'll be honest, I forgot who that is. Go Beyond. Tell me what it looks like.
You're joking. No, this is not. It's not. It's like the
power
I
up
thought
you were
saying
it's
Go
soft
Beyond. Like Go Beyond.
Like Dobin or something like that. I don't know how I heard that. Yeah, Go Beyond. I don't know how I misheard that, but yeah. Yeah, I thought that was a really cool ability he got.
I feel like like even with like Jotaro just being able to stop time out of the blue, like I still feel like for some reason I've always felt that that's like somehow justified, even though it's never really explained or built up. I still like it, but I still feel like even though Go Beyond was kind of built up with like Rai saying like that his bubbles are just like strings that are using spin, I don't know. I don't really know how I feel about him just like getting that, especially since like Josuke's character has been built up that he's like, I've had to do this all on my own, and like haven't really had anybody's help. Like I've had to figure this all out for myself. And then he just kind of like gets the thing that's like, here, this is the most overpowered ability in the entire series. Here you go. You can defy. You get to the power to defy fate out of the blue. I didn't really like that thematically. But how do you feel about the Radio Gaga? Because a lot of people have very mixed opinions on that.
I thought it was cool to see an alternate Joseph, but I didn't really care for it. That's about all it boils down to.
Okay, because I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I'm being a little bit hypocritical because I actually like Radio Gaga, even though, like I've said, I don't like the Golden Wind flashback ending. Like, even though they're kind of almost like the same thing. I guess like it was kind of more like we were learning stuff about it, and it didn't really betray the themes. I do enjoy the ending of part 8 though, like the family being left. I do feel like maybe.
Oh my!
Did you not enjoy it?
That's such a wholesome. No, that's such a wholesome moment. Okay. And it like fits the final piece of Josuke's character arc of finding his identity, finding his place in the world.
I don't know. Maybe if I had been reading it for like 10 years up until this point, and then like that's the final chapter, like it's like really this is where you leave us off. And, like I'd been mad, but I like it because I don't like endings that just leave it up to your interpretation. It's like the one exception, because like when I'm reading a story, I expect it to like carry me, like I'm getting on a bus, carry me to the ending, do it like nice, and like carry me the entire time. Don't just throw me off the bus like right in the last chapter and tell me to walk the rest of the mile. Like tell me, figure it out for yourself. No, just give me the rest of the ending. But this is the one exception because I do really enjoy this.
Yeah, Yasuho, I did.
You don't know how to feel about. Yeah, I don't really know how to feel about her either.
I don't really like her.
She just, I feel bad for her. She just like is the pincushion or like the punching bag at JoJolion because she like gets her arm chopped off. She's always getting like she's got like razor blades like shoved in her mouth or something like that. I don't know. I feel bad for her.
God.
But then I do feel like like there's this weird like the romance between her and Josuke is like weird because it's like kind of there, but and then it's like also not.
That's the aspect that I was looking at her about or talking about.
Because I read Araki's book, like it's like manga in theory and practice, and he talks about in his book like this is I think when he was writing in the like halfway through JoJolion, and he talks about he's like with JoJolion I added a romantic element between Josuke and Yasuo. I'm like, no, you did not.
No.
They held hands,
no.
and Josuke sang his fried chicken song to her. That's all that happened.
Yep. That was peak music right there.
I'm surprised. I completely forgot about the fried chicken. I'm surprised people don't talk about it as much as like the pizza mozzarella. Do you think he did it though just because the pizza mozzarella was such like a big hit that he decided to do another JoJo song?
I have no idea what's going on in Araki's mind.
Do you think Jojo's gonna get like a whole like pizza or pineapple pizza song?
I feel like it would be what's his name? I just read part 9. How could I? His brother.
Dragona's gonna get one.
Bro, I don't know how I'm forgetting their names already. Oh my gosh, yeah. I feel like Dragona. Nope, it's gotta be Rohan. Right, next chapter, I'm calling it.
Jobin's gonna sing. He's gonna come back.
Oh yeah,
pizza mozzarella. That would be cool. There we go.
Yeah. So honestly, just Josuke alone in this part, he's S for me.
S. But where do you put JoJolion as a whole?
I think it's on the line between S and A, but if you're going with S, then it just teeters over to S.
Okay. Do you feel it's better than Diamond is Unbreakable though?
Yeah.
Okay, I'd be happy with that. Yeah, it's my favorite part. I honestly don't think it's the best part. Like, I could go on, like, for days talking about, like, some of the, like, the narrative mishaps and, like, all the plot holes and, like, how some of it was stupid. Like, the rock humans is a little bit too weird. But I still do enjoy it at the end of the day.
The thing about Steel Ball Run is that there's so many great things to it, and it's, like, so soundly put together and very well put together that it's just so good. Plus, very good characters, masterpiece.
Yeah, I guess I would say like critically it's better, like, but it's I would like there's like difference between like versus like how like video game per se. It's like how fun you enjoy it. Like it could be a video game that nobody likes, but you really enjoy playing it and you can see its flaws. But it's like your favorite game of all time, but you can admit like this is not like one of the best games. This is not like the best game of all time. Okay, now the most recent part. I don't really know how we want to rate this, like JoJoLands, because it's still going on.
Bye, I'm leaving.
Okay,
goodbye.
You're putting it in D.
No, I'm
okay.
just kidding.
You can't get it out now. Tier Maker doesn't work like that.
No,
we'll just leave it there. We'll leave it there for now.
Yeah. No. Okay.
I'm not gonna put that in the video because people are gonna skip. People might skip to the end and then see we put it in D, and then they're gonna get really mad with no context.
Oh, that'd be. Nah, they'd have to watch all the way through. But so JoJoLands, I think this has the potential to be better than every single part before it.
Oh my god! It's been so amazing so far.
Yeah, Araki, he did a very cool thing with Jodio, making him have antisocial whatever disorder.
Yeah, antisocial personality disorder. He's like kind of a psychopath.
Yeah, and all right, I want to correct something that I said in my JoJoLands video because I pretty much said that he was scary and made him out to be like this, I don't know, evil character. But once you actually look at his actions and like in the first chapter where he beats up a cop and defends his brother, you could kind of see why he was so violent. I think anyone would be violent in that situation. And I kind of attributed that to his I pretty much just made him out to be like a psychopath because of that. But yeah, you could definitely see where he's coming from.
Yeah, I'm curious as like going forward, like usually you put characters on like an alignment chart, like neutral, good or something like that, or where he will go, because so far we haven't like seen much of a sense of justice. Like I don't think that he would have beaten up the police if it had been anybody else but his brother, or if like somebody he just like saw on the side of the road. Maybe he would have like shooed the cops away, but I doubt he would have helped just anybody.
Yeah, he seems really cold, unfeeling, and this what is it? His stand actually got me into Guns N' Roses.
Oh, I
November
love
Rain.
this.
I love
best
that
Guns N' Roses song.
Yeah, and I'm gonna just go off the song, and if you kind of like think about the lyrics and how the song plays out, it kind of seems like it's gonna be him becoming more I don't know, like happy, or he just feels things more, I guess. Learning to love or something. I don't know.
Yeah, no, because my prediction is like, especially I talked about in this my JoJoLands video, like the song is very much about like people. It's like learning how to that you always need somebody there for you. I feel like that, like this is going to be the first like part where it's like kind of a double like. Usually at the beginning of the part, it's like, oh, the story about a boy breaking a curse or a boy learning to walk again. I think it's like filthy rich. He's not going to become filthy rich in terms of money. But I think he's like going to learn that money is like a material possession, like kind of like the Milagro Man thing.
Yeah, you could be wealthy in more than things than just or than just with money. It could be friends, family.
This new alternate universe, like Passione, is like they're going to become like true friends at the end. And it's like this is going to be like, these are like my friends. These people are going to stick with for the rest of my life. I think that's what's going to happen. But I guess we haven't really judged it like critically so far. Like, how do you feel like so far with these like 6 chapters at the time of writing? That's how do you feel about it so far?
Well, the fights, let's just start off with that. They're all right. I mean, we had the cat thing. I think I'm really liking what's his name stand, Joe stand. I that's another thing. I think like Uraki, he's kind of getting pretty weird pretty early on. I guess this is how it was for JoJolion, but pretty weird pretty early on with the stands and their abilities and stuff.
Yeah, I do. My favorite character so far is Usagi, because I love the beret design, and I like that already this immediately like this group already has like such good chemistry, like right off the bat. Like him and like Usagi and Paco bounce off each other comedically so well already.
It kind of, for some reason, Jodio just a little bit reminds me of Giorno, where he's sitting in the background.
Yeah.
Like, do you get that feeling a little bit?
No, yeah, he's like kind of just like going with the flow.
Yeah.
Like he's just kind of like, he's like the kid, like he's literally the dude just like sitting in the background playing on his Switch, like next to the tree.
Yeah. Yeah. So I really hope he doesn't turn out to be exactly like Giorno.
Stagnant. At least they're like kind of giving a reason for why he's like kind of a little bit stagnant, like with the sociopath.
Yeah,
angle.
I think I hope that becomes a huge focus for this part.
I mean, he's already like shown like this is like his true character when like he goes into like the rage mode, because he kind of went to rage with the cops, and then also like with Rohan a little bit, he like got like really malicious and evil when like when he was able to like tie up Rohan. I really like that. I like the setting. I hope I don't know. A lot of people think it's like this is going to take place over like the course of a week, like in universe. Kind of how
I do not. I don't see that.
You don't see that happening. Well, that's kind of what happened with Golden Wind. Golden Wind takes place like canonically over the course of like 7 or 8 days.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it could happen.
Because like people think the part is gonna end with the group actually finally going back home, like getting on the plane and go back home.
Oh, I feel like that happens a lot in JoJo's. I think that happened with. I know it definitely happened with Stardust Crusaders.
Well, no, like at least Stardust Crusaders, they're traveling like from place to place. Like this entire part will take place on just this one island. And I kind of don't really. I don't know. I don't really want that to happen. I feel like I really do wish that like we do get a bigger look at like it. I really hope that there definitely will be like a bigger enemy at play with like these rocks and these diamonds, like that we travel like to more of Hawaii than just this one island.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Where would you rank it so far? Like just like we're not. I guess we wouldn't necessarily like we're officially ranking it, but just like for fun, like these 6 chapters.
Well, the group dynamic that we already have going on, I think it's all right. So, I don't want to put it in A. I think it's like No, I'll put it in A.
You put an A? Okay.
No, I don't know. Well, I really like what's going on with JoJo, so
Personally, if it were me, just doing this tier list, I would put an S tier.
S tier already.
But I wouldn't say. I guess I don't want to say. That's the thing. It's like already.
Yeah.
But compared to like the other I don't know. Like this is probably the best introduction JoJo's has had.
I'll
like
put
even
a golden win.
Even like Steel Ball Run, I feel like the first like initial 24 chapters or something are a little bit lackluster.
Yeah, it felt so slow.
But I think that so far, like the pacing has been. I really hope though this doesn't have like some big like weird heel turn where it's just like, oh no, this like part's super inconsistent. But I don't think Iraqi would ever do that. I think that he's now like, this is he wants this to be like his magnum opus, like his swan song for JoJo's.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that's how it turns out.
Because a lot of people, everybody keep thinking it's gonna be like a Eyes of Heaven where like every JoJo's character is gonna come through like a portal. And then they're all going to work together to fight Dio, joining forces with Diavolo.
Oh, that'd be funny.
Have you heard?
No, that's to happen.
That's to happen. Especially like the theories. I really think it'd be cool if like an alternate universe Diavolo and King Crimson came back. I think that'd be.
Yeah, that's kind of like what I'm thinking. That there's gonna be a Diavolo and I don't know about Doppio, but maybe like. Alternate universe Diavolo, and I really hope Iraqi makes him super cool and super interesting.
I feel like I kind of hope that this is like not just an alternate universe part 5, but also like an alternate universe part 6. Like I feel like Dragona is a little bit like I do kind of hope that she becomes like an alternate universe like JoJolion. And then a lot of people, especially the recent chapter, like where him like Dragona and Paco are like getting tied up together. They're saying it's like Paco's like an alternate universe Anasui.
I have not seen that. I think I saw what is it? I saw that some people were saying that the cat might be alternate universe JoJolion.
I don't know where people are coming from. I don't know what the people are talking.
That'd be so funny.
That'd be so funny if the cat just straight up has Stone Free though.
It just comes out of nowhere. Bam!
Like it just pops out. Yeah, like Jordan's like finally Jodio's like finally have this cat and this pops out and like punches him right in the nose. That'd be so funny.
Yeah, I guess we really just gotta wait.
Yeah, we got. I can't wait though. I thought that this would go by so slow, like waiting for each like chapter release, but it's gone like 6 months. I feel like they've gone by fast.
Yeah.
I feel like it releasing in the middle of the month is like the perfect time because like I have like my fix like satiated for it, but like by the time it's like, I wonder when the new JoJoLands chapter is gonna come out. It's like the 10th of like the next month, and then it's like, oh, it comes out in 7 days. Can't wait for that to happen. And like people start doing countdowns on Twitter. I enjoy it. I enjoy it so far.
It has been going on for an hour and 12 minutes.
I think we should cut it out now. Yeah.
You're gonna have fun.
Yeah. I'm gonna have so much fun. It won't be that hard to edit. I'm not going all out with this. I still got other stuff to do. I still gotta make finish my other editing my other video.
This is the JoJo's tier list.
This is the official JoJo's tier list.
Yep. No one can disagree with this.
Exactly.
But yeah, thanks for watching. Go check out Anime in Theory. I'll leave his link in the description. And yeah.
Bye-bye.
Peace.